In the spring of 1242, Mongol horsemen stood just 25 kilometers from Vienna. Scouts had been spotted from the city walls. Austrian defenders watched dust clouds rise on the horizon. Hungary had already been destroyed and Poland had been crushed. Refugees flooded through the gates, with the rest of the Europe reeling from internal wars, faced complete and total annihilation by an enemy it could not match. This is the story of the day Europe almost fell at the hands of the Mongols. The campaign that reached Vienna did not begin in Austria. It began on the Eurasian steppe decades earlier. After Genghis Khan's death in 1227, his empire did not fragment. It expanded. Under Ögedei Khan, the Mongols launched a systematic Western invasion beginning in 1236. This was not a raid. It was a continental offensive. The Western campaign likely involved between 120,000 and 150,000 warriors across multiple theaters, with an elite force of 30,000 to 40,000 assigned to penetrate deep into Europe. Every Mongol soldier was a mounted archer. From childhood, they learned to ride, shoot, hunt, and survive on minimal supplies. Each warrior controlled several ponies, allowing constant rotation. This enabled speeds of 50 to 80 kilometers per day, faster than any European army could sustain. Their organization was surgical. Units were structured in a decimal system: 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000, a tumen. Their battlefield doctrine was built on deception and mobility. The most feared tactic was the feigned retreat. Mongol cavalry would simulate panic, breaking formation and fleeing. European knights, trained to charge and pursue, took the bait. Once stretched and disordered, they were surrounded. Arrows darkened the sky. Cavalry units closed in from hidden flanks. What began as pursuit ended in massacre. They also brought Chinese and Muslim engineers. Trebuchets, siege towers, smoke bombs, and pontoon bridges traveled with the army. Rivers were crossed quickly. Stone walls were not permanent obstacles. Europe had never encountered such coordination, speed, and adaptability. The first shockwave hit Poland. On April 9, 1241, near Legnica, Mongol forces under Khadan confronted Duke Henry II of Silesia. The Mongols staged a retreat. European cavalry charged in confidence. Then smoke bombs were deployed, obscuring visibility. Arrow volleys rained down. Flanking units sealed the trap. The army disintegrated. Duke Henry was killed, and his severed head was displayed as a warning. 2 days later, on the 11th of April, the decisive blow fell in Hungary. At the Battle of Mohi, Batu Khan and Subutai faced King Bela IV's forces, between 25,000 and 60,000 strong. The Hungarians camped near the Sajo River. During the night, Subutai secretly constructed a pontoon bridge downstream. At dawn, Mongol units attacked from multiple directions. The Hungarians were compressed between riverbanks and cavalry assaults. Arrows cut down defenders in waves. The camp turned into a killing ground. Between 10,000 and 15,000 soldiers were slaughtered in a single day. The Hungarian army ceased to exist. Pest and Buda burned. Villages were wiped from the map. Hungary's population collapsed from roughly 2 million to nearly 1 million. Entire regions were depopulated. Recovery took more than 2 centuries. In weeks, 2 European kingdoms had been shattered. The Mongols wintered in the Hungarian plain, using its open grasslands to sustain their horses. In early 1242, they resumed their advance. Raiding columns crossed into Austria. Wiener Neustadt fell. Reconnaissance units rode within sight of Vienna's walls. Mongol detachments reached the Danube near Klosterneuburg. Vienna prepared for siege. Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II was locked in conflict with the papacy and mobilized too late as Poland was broken. Hungary, devastated with Austria, completely exposed. For several tense weeks, the path to Vienna lay open. Had the Mongols committed fully, there was no field army left capable of stopping them. But events far beyond Europe intervened. On the 11th of December 1241, Ögedei Khan died in Karakorum after heavy drinking. News traveled through the Mongol Yam. a relay courier system stretching thousands of kilometers. By late March or early April 1242, Batu Khan received confirmation. Mongol tradition required senior princes to return for a Kurultai, the council that elected the next great Khan. Without legitimate authority from the imperial center, no prolonged Western campaign could continue. In April and May 1242, the Mongol army executed a disciplined withdrawal across Hungary. They burned settlements and stripped resources as they moved east. They never returned to Central Europe in comparable strength, since no other successor commanded the authority and respect as Ögedei Khan did. Between 1250s and 1260s, the Mongol Empire had effectively split into separate Khanates: the Golden Horde in Russia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, and the Yuan dynasty in China. These regions acted increasingly independently. No unified command structure remained to launch another massive Western invasion. The newly formed Khanates focused on richer and more immediate targets, consolidating China, dominating Persia, and controlling trade routes across Eurasia. Western Europe, heavily forested and filled with fortified stone cities, offered less immediate return compared to the wealth of the Islamic world in East Asia. There were later raids into Poland in 1259 and 1287, but never again did a full imperial army threaten Vienna or the heart of Europe. Across Central Europe, rulers reacted decisively. Wooden fortifications were replaced with stone castles. Towns expanded their walls. Defensive architecture became heavier and more complex. Military organization evolved. The invasion exposed weaknesses in feudal levies and accelerated the development of more permanent, disciplined forces. The psychological effect was profound. Europe had confronted a mobile empire that operated with unprecedented coordination. The invasion forced strategic innovation and hardened political authority in several regions. Later Mongol raids struck Poland in 1259 and 1287, but they were punitive expeditions, not existential invasions. The moment of total collapse had passed. In 1242, Europe stood exposed, its kings divided, its armies defeated, its fortifications insufficient. The Mongols had crushed everything in their path. They had annihilated Poland and Hungary in weeks. Vienna was within reach. Then they rode home, and only by a stroke of grand luck was Europe able to survive the horde that attacked the continent. The horde that could have rewritten Europe's future instead became a catalyst for its evolution. Conquerors like Mehmet and Suleiman from the Ottoman Empire did subdue European regions, but never was Europe challenged in a way the Mongols did.